Hello and welcome to our video tutorial. Today we are going to learn how to make a very colorful picture of a hummingbird flying in some tropical flowers. Here is what our final picture is going to look like. Our hummingbird is going to be caught mid-flight, flapping its wings, getting some nectar from flowers. Let's talk a little bit about hummingbirds. So hummingbirds are tiny birds that typically come in very bright colors. To fly, they beat their wings very fast, up to 70 times per minute. They also have very long, skinny noses which they use to gather nectar from flowers. The majority of hummingbirds come from the Caribbean islands. There are around 340 hummingbird species in the world, and of those, 14 live in the Caribbean islands. So today we're going to make a drawing of a hummingbird with some beautiful tropical flowers in the background. Here is what we'll need to make our picture. We'll need a small piece of paper. This one here is about 7 by 10. We'll also need a pencil and a black marker and something to color in our picture. For mine, I used colored pencils, but you could also use crayons or markers or something else to color in yours. The first thing we'll do on our picture is we're going to draw a diagonal line going from the upper left corner down to the bottom right corner. You can use a ruler or something straight to help you draw a straight line, but this line doesn't need to be perfect. We're just going to use it as a guide for the rest of our picture. Make sure to draw this line fairly lightly because we are going to be erasing it later on. Once you have your picture divided in half here, the next thing we'll do is draw the body of our hummingbird by drawing a half circle. And we're going to use this line here as the flat part of our half circle. The half circle doesn't need to be perfectly straight or perfectly round, because we're going to use this as the body of the hummingbird, and our bird isn't going to be perfectly round either. Next step is I'm going to draw a smaller circle on top here for the hummingbird's head. This circle should be about half the size or half the width of our half circle. This is going to be the head for our hummingbird. The next thing I'll do is I'll draw the wing of our hummingbird. I'm going to use this corner right here, the corner of our half circle, as my starting point, and I'm just going to draw a straight line coming out to the side. Then I'm going to make a slightly rounded edge and come back in. So I'm basically making a triangle with a rounded tip at the edge there. The next thing I'll do is I'll draw the tail for my bird. For that, I'll draw a sort of trapezoid shape. So two lines angling slightly out. And then to make the bottom of the tail look feathered, I'm going to draw some more half circle shapes. Now I have my tail. Next up, I need to make the bird's nose. As I said at the beginning, hummingbirds have very skinny and long noses that they use to get nectar out of flowers. So I'm going to draw another triangle. I'm going to make this one very long and skinny. Next up, I need to draw the hummingbird's eye. Again, I'm going to use my diagonal line as a guide, and I'm just going to draw another small circle right on top of that line. The next thing I need to do is erase some of the lines inside my hummingbird. Obviously, I need to erase the part of the diagonal line that's running through the head. And then I'm also going to erase the edge of the wing here and the edge of the body that are also inside the head. Then I also need to erase part of that diagonal line that's going through the tail. And there you have it. You've got your hummingbird all the way drawn. I also need to erase the lines outside of the hummingbird because I don't need those anymore either. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to draw some flowers in the background of my picture. For this part, think about composition. Think about making some flowers big and some small. Think about putting some that go behind our bird. Some of them might even go off the page. So think about where you can put your flowers to make your picture look really interesting. Once I have all of my different flowers drawn, the next step is to draw in the stems. You can see that I had a lot of fun drawing these different flowers. I really tried to use lots of different shapes and different types of petals, different types of designs to really make these pop. Then we'll draw the stems and leaves for our flowers. Now that I have everything drawn, I'm going to use my permanent marker to trace all of my lines. Once you're done outlining your picture, then it's time to start coloring. As I mentioned, you can use anything you would like to color this in. For mine, I'm using colored pencils. We have a lot of stuff going on in our picture, so think about ways that you can use color to make your picture look really interesting. For example, you can think about movement of color. This is when you use the same color in different parts of your picture to make your eye move across the page as you look at it. You can also think about using contrasting colors for the hummingbird or the flowers, or think about using warm versus cool colors for your hummingbird or flowers. This will make different parts of your picture really stand out. Once you have everything colored in, then you are all done with your project. Thank you everyone for watching our video. If you enjoyed the lesson, please post a photo and tag us on Facebook or Instagram because we love to see what you guys create. Thank you so much for watching.